Hey everyone, this is Malgazer returning with another installment to the Final Fantasy XIV story playthrough. Last we played, we finally did get to start Shadowbringers. Very exciting. I've never played Shadowbringers before. It's all new to me. We found a lot about the world, how that it is being consumed with the light that we had heard when the Warriors of Darkness came to try and save their world the wrong way. We talked to the Crystal Exarch, and he said, you know, if you kind of want to figure out what to do, you might want to find your friends who were all sucked here before. There were 6 that we know of. One of them, he said, has disappeared entirely. That was Minfilia. And in no particular order, there was Thancred, Urianger, Y'shtola, Alphino, and Alisaie. They are all here as well. And the time passes differently here. So Urianger has been here for 5 years. And on and on and on. Everyone has been here for at least a year and been tasked with talking to them. So there are the 4 main areas that they talked about. Calusia, which is where Alphino is. Almarang, which is where Alisaie is. Ilmeg, which is where Urianger is, and the Raktika Greatwood, which is where Y'shtola is. So at first, these 2 locations, Ilmeg and Raktika Greatwood, are inaccessible. Right now, I don't forget if you told us why, but I'm not 100% sure myself. So I had the option of either going to talk to Alphino or Alisaie first. So I decided Alphino, and now I went to this great land of Calusia, which is where there's this town over here of Yulmore, which is where that little thing over there. The rich of Norvrent, which Norvrent is the name of the planet. The rich people went there and they said, we're the rulers, and they just live out their days in decadence. There's a town in front of it called Gate Town, which is where all of the regular people decide, you know what, instead of trying to make a way for myself, we're going to live off the scraps given by the people from Yulmore, and hopefully they will pick us to go live there. The scraps being some food stuff that I forget the name of, which seemed suspect to me. Like, I'm thinking it might be a Soylent Green type situation, but we'll find out maybe. And then the people that are brought in are actually killed for it, or killed, or for some reason, or experimented on, or there's something nefarious going on in there. So we'll just have to see where it takes us. So that's right. Music here. This is just the regular battle music. So of course, because it's a new expansion entirely, there are new Aether Currents defined, so that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to worry about that another time. Oh yeah, and that's right, one of the finer things about this zone is Alphino found a way to potentially get into Yulmore, because he's trying to save the people, the downtrodden. He's trying to get into Yulmore to kind of figure out what makes it tick, but you can't just walk in, you have to be invited. So he thought he found a way to do it. I'm getting some hardcore lag, whatever. Sorry, he thought he found a way to do it. Somebody overheard him, took his idea, and he's like, you know what, go for it. You know, you're one of the people that needs to get in, so here you go. A lot of lag going on. My internet has not been the best this week. I do not understand why, but here we are. Let's play an online game. That should take care of the worst of his injuries, just by staring at him. Mercy, mercy, I beg you. Breathe easy, sir. No harm will come to you here. The poor man is shivering. Pray keep an eye on him while I get a fire going. I thought for certain I was dead. How am I ever to repay this kindness? We'll settle for the tale behind your current predicament. Why don't you begin by telling us your name? Crystal. I was invited into Yulemoor to work as an artist. A wealthy couple took me in to paint pictures for them, but when my style proved contrary to their taste, they just as quickly turfed me out onto the street. I was of penniless and patronless, a grave sin in Lord Vathri's city. Within days, they'd brought me before the man himself, and he asked me what I meant to do. Dejected as I was, I told him that I wished to leave. Little did I know how soon he would grant me my wish. They flung me over the balustrade into the godsdamned ocean. From up there, how were you not dashed to pieces? Don't ask me. Luck, I suppose. Though if you hadn't found me when you did, it wouldn't have counted for much. Monstrous, and the city's citizens condone such barbaric punishment? You'd. Oh, without a second thought. When Lord Vathri passes judgment, no one so much as blinks, let alone argues. In Yulemoor, his word is law. The more I hear about Yulemoor, the more determined I am to see what waits within its walls. I shall bend all my thoughts towards securing another way into the city. There must be something we can do. But first, we should convey Tristan to the shelter of the village. Fire or no fire, he needs to be out of this chilly coastal air. You need me to go with you? Way into the city. Well, that's right. Even though I'm several levels above them, they still attack me. Trying to waste my time. Alright, Tristal, what do you got for me? Pray accept my deepest gratitude. I owe you both my life. And if you'll permit me, I will assist you in your attempt to enter Yulemoor, insofar as I am able at any rate. To be frank, the thought of sending my saviors into that awful place makes me sick to my stomach. But since it's plain to see you set your minds on it, you should take this. Here's a free mount. It's my favorite paintbrush. The Yulemoor and the lead are never satisfied until they get exactly what they want. And if I'm not mistaken, the couple I mentioned will be looking for someone to replace me. If you make a show of owning such a well-used brush, you may be able to convince people you have a talent for painting. Are you certain this is your livelihood? We cannot deprive you of such a treasured possession. I give it gladly after all you've done for me. Besides, I don't think I have the heart to paint anymore. As to what I'll do instead, I honestly haven't decided. But I shan't stay long in this place, not with the city brooding over me. Nay, I'll move on to new lands and a new profession, and I'll keep you in my prayers from now to my dying day. Send her to the Crystarium. They say kindness is his own reward, but Tristal has repaid us with the gift as timely as was unexpected. We will, however, need to act upon this advice before another painter steps up to fill a vacancy. Thankfully, I do have some modest skill with a brush. Nothing approaching that of a true artist, of course, but I'll have to play the role, I would hope. As for you, well, if I don't mind me taking a subordinate role, mayhap you could pose as my assistant. If you don't mind taking a subordinate role. Then it is settled. All we need to do now is return to Gate Town and await the next appearance of those vile jesters. Oh, I had the connection issue symbol show up for a second. That's no bueno. Dropping so many frames, it's ridiculous. Whatever. Come on. Yep. Quest sync. What does that mean? Grab these ones and give me the 8 occurrence. Is it saying that it'll sync my level? So I can't walk in level 74 and just wreck it? Probably what it means. Oh, I'm glad I'm not going to be getting in a dungeon anytime soon. This lag is unbearable. Ooh. That is a new ability. Oh, the quest syncs to me, it looks like, because it's level 74 as well. Yeah, having hardcore lag like this is bad. See, I was out of that, but I still got hit somehow. Yep. Keeping a lot of lore, but I don't care. Flesh out this world some other time. So much lag, it doesn't even know what to do. Another one for me? Nope, it's not. Watch as now it's a series, you have to do several of them in order to get out. That would be annoying, and we'll find out later. Where is it? Vent Yard, so it's the little area right in here. Ooh. Excuse me. I could help him. Use the jarred powder of crystal on the keel joints. Help him build his boat. Easy peasy. That's all I needed to do. Yeah. You know what? It's 164 gil. Didn't take me long to get there, but whatever. All right. All right, so let's head back down to Gate Town. That is our next destination. Get away from the flower frog things. I think we have to go this way because I don't think we can get up that. I don't know this one very much. Oh, that's right. One of the things about the fact that this place is almost consumed by light was that this is as dark as it gets. This is nightfall. Everlasting light. Yeah, there's a hunt train going on, which usually only happens when it's current content, which this is. A hunt train is where there's a lot of hunts going on. So people jump into a group and just keep going around doing them. Here they come. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention once more. What a day it's been for the folks at our door. We've welcomed a peddler who made pearls from a plum, and now we've a place for a painter of a plum. So come along and don't be slow. It's time to let your colors show. They took that guy in. I can paint. Portraits at least. Landscapes and still lifes are so rarely commissioned these days. Oh, I thought I spied some new faces in the crowd. What fortune that you should feel at ease around an easel. What proof of your prowess? Any masterpieces on your person? Sadly not. Everything I paint is soon sold. Such is the life of a working artist. I have only my brush to testify for me, though you'll note that it has seen no small amount of service. Oh, aha, oh, flecks of paint, both old and new, but so much loved and much used. Not a prop to be conjured on the hop. Very well, come with us, and we'll put those talents to the test. Who is this hanger-on? Well-wisher or parasite? Oh, this is my assistant. He whose unfailing support allows my art to flourish. I'll go with him or not at all. Parasite, then. We shall leave his fate in the hands of your new employer. It matters not a whit to us. And having filled our latest vacant space, we retire to Yulmore's sweet embrace. What does that look? They're all happy. Oh, mercy me, the mail. We almost took our leave without leaving a loving token. We must empty the sack ere we make our way back. That's what it's called. That food stuff is called mail. Or meal or whatever. Something. M-E-O-L.
Redemption is beyond us. The lament of all but saints and fools, and the comfort of the lords and ladies of this accursed place. Once they held fast against the madness, only to embrace the coming cataclysm and delight in the end of days. Perhaps in rapture they seek to lose themselves and the misery they share. Or perhaps for them alone, the promise of eternal pleasure really does hold true.
The Red Jongler. Welcome, welcome to the city of fine pleasures. Feel free to weep at its magnificence. No, not even a single tear? Moving right along then. Our first task is to register you as residents. You know, make it all nice and official. We'll smooth the way, so you just need to put on your happy faces and head for the joyous hall. The Bureau, if I can speak, of Immigration is in the first room on the left side of the passage. Declare your name and occupation in a nice loud voice. The clerks will tell you where to go from there. Oh, and pay no mind to those of the folk off to the side of the road. Much like the hopefuls in Gatetown, they haven't earned the right to enter the city proper. If, however, you enjoy basking in the envy of your fellow man, then by all means take your time. Why waste another moment? Go, enjoy the beginning of your new life in paradise. The Bureau of Immigration, is it? I suppose we better show ourselves willing for the time being. You don't want to check out everything? Surprised he doesn't want to talk to the people. Welcome to Yulmore, fortunate friends. May I have your names? I am Alphino, an artist, and this is Malgazer, my assistant. Ah yes, I was informed of your imminent arrival. You can forego the usual interview and begin processing your registration papers forthwith. Now, the citizens of Yulmore are divided in two classes. There are the free, who are blessed with the favor of Lord Vothri, and the bonded, who work in the employ of the free. You'll be joining the ranks of the bonded. Your duties are to serve a patron in the capacity for which you are chosen. In your case, painting pretty pictures. Should your patron dismiss you for any reason, you must find another sponsor among the free, or accept work as a general laborer. I see. Then might you tell us something of the patron we are to serve? Two patrons, actually. Chai News and Julia Chai, a mystical couple who refer to themselves as the Chais. They are both gentle souls, but I would ask that you conduct yourself with respect and humility for your own sake as much as theirs. Now, a moment please while I complete the relevant paperwork. All in order. These are your registration documents. Take these papers next door and submit them to the clerk. Once they've been stamped, you will officially be Yulmoran citizens. Enjoy your new life in paradise. Welcome to the Bureau of Registration. Papers, please. What have we here? Alphino artist, Malgazar artist assistant, to be employed in the service of Lord Chai News and Lady Julia Chai. Yes, everything seems to be in order. Your registration is hereby approved. I think it best that we deliver you to the Chai residence before. Huh? Oh dear. You smell hideous. Thanks. Did you crawl here through a ditch? It's like an unholy miasma of dust and sweat that the musk of some unwashed beast. Proceed directly to the delousery next door and scrub yourselves clean. Use whichever showers are free. After you rinse away the stench, you'll want to splash yourselves with this perfume, liberally. Once you've made yourself presentable, then you may proceed to the Chai residence. We're down the grab by the stairs, we'll give you directions. What if I'm sensitive to smells? I hadn't realized we were so aromatic. Well, yeah. You're nose blind to it. Is there anything inside the place? Oh, okay. Ooh, shower scene. You rinse yourself clean in the stream of water. Apply the sweet smelling perfume. There we go, dang. You apply the perfume as directed, and the delicate scent of roses fills the air. Gross. Come on. Stop lagging. Wow. I almost disconnected from hitting a button. Disconnection in this game takes forever to get back in. It sucks. You have to wait for the system to recognize that you're no longer playing because it thinks that you're still in. Then you have to go through the queue again. Oh, you've showered and dressed already, have you? Is that not... That is to say, it seems rather exposed for one's ablutions, does it not? Ha! What would Estinians say? Good gods, you'll mention nothing of this. Swear to me. Swear to me. Whatever, Batman. Come on, Alphino. This is going to be tonight. Not going to get much done tonight. That's fine. We'll just keep plugging along. Yep, there it is. Alright, and we're back. Seems like all I really needed to do was a good old-fashioned router restart. So, let's go ahead and continue this. Well, let's pick the Estinian option again. Do not speak of this. There we go. Not to be sensitive to smell. While that was racing, I believe the lingering smells of the road have been successfully expunged. Shall we go and present ourselves to our new patrons then? I'll meet you there. I'm going to explore the city. You know, I was saying it when they're like, go do this, and then you end up exploring the city anyway. Is there a way out? I wanted to go through. Oh well, let's just talk to everybody. You're looking to present yourself to the Chais, are you? Let me explain how the city's laid out then. Imagine 3 layers, one on top of the other. This layer here is called the buttress. Above us is the understory. Uh-oh. I thought I fixed the issue. Ridiculous. Watch, if I try to go in too early, before the game has officially kicked me out, I'll go in and it said, you're logged in already. Oh, never mind. I had to give it the 10 seconds. So it's interesting because this stream and YouTube series isn't just about just the story, but it's also about the gameplay and the trials and tribulations of playing an MMO. This is one of them. So you're here for the ride. It really sucks when this happens when you're in a pre-made group, like for a raid or something, and everyone's depending on you and you keep disconnecting. It's like the worst. Hate it. Anyway, so the buttress, the understory where the military has its headquarters, and above that you've got the canopy, which is where the free citizens of Yulmore spend their days. If you want to find your new patrons, you'll need to keep climbing until you run out of stairs, and then look for the Grand Dame's Parlor. They'll be in there, like as not. Okay, I actually am going to go out. Get all of these. Why are there so many wrecked ships here? That's kind of weird. Ooh. Yeah, buddy. I think once I actually finish the main story and I want to work on a secondary class, unfortunately it's gonna have to be another tank class and get all the tank classes done because they all wear the same gear. That way I only have like one set of gear as opposed to 15. I'm just holding on to old gear that I don't need anymore. Cool. All right. Back to it. Let's head upstairs. I wonder if the 8th right's on the 2nd story or the 3rd story. Looks like this only has one thing, so let's grab that real quick. Quite a bit of climbing to do. Dead. It's all the Aethernet shards. The actual main Aetherite must be upstairs then. Interesting. You can attune to all the Aethernet shards without actually getting the main Aetherite, and it still counts as getting them all. Yep, there's the main Aetherite. I can see it there on the map. Boop, boop, boop. You need special permission to use the Aetherite. That's new. These are our patrons. That's very nice. One of them is, at least.
Oh, who's this then?
Lord and Lady Chai, pray forgive our intrusion. I am given to understand you were in search of an artist.
Ah, you must be the new,
Oh, goodness me! What an adorable boy! That silken hair, those pearly cheeks, oh, and you even smell wonderful, like a bed of flowers. I approve of this one, dearest. I am positive he'll paint us the most delightful pictures.
yes. Well, as long as he paints better than that talentless wretch we sent packing last week.
Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome to Yulmore.
Alphino, if it please you, my lady. And this is my assistant.
Your assistant? I've heard of bringing in family members, but this seems a bit irregular. Aren't you a little young to have a protege?
We are family in all but name, my lord. Though we share no blood, we have stood by each other through life's many challenges, resolved to prevail together or not at all.
Send it home.
Of all people, 'tis he who best understands my work. With his unique insight guiding my hand, the art I create is sure to satisfy your expectations. Once the picture is begun, of course, I shall have no need of constant encouragement. And so I wondered, rather than him being in your way, might it then be permissible for my assistant to explore the city he has so longed to see? Out of gratitude for his priceless contribution to my art, I thought it only fair that I make this humble request on his behalf.
Ooh, did you ever hear of such devotion? Of course your assistant must have his wish. He shall be free to roam to his heart's content. Isn't that right, darling?
Dang.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course, dearest. Quite right.
Short leash, eh? Alphino doesn't approve. You can tell in his face. Alright. Complete. Yeah, finally getting some new pieces here. Now you have the opportunity to experience Yulmore. I suggest you make the most of it. Explore the city, top to bottom. In other words, I would start with a canopy and go from there. Try wandering in the market stalls, mayhap. Such places are usually filled with colorful characters, and only too eager to share local gossip with a friendly visitor. I would appreciate it, of course, if you could share any discoveries with me in turn. We should both learn as much as possible about our new place of residence. Ronan Clegane, nice. Amiable maiden. Oh, hello there. Fresh register, are we? You seem a little lost. Well, it is lovely to make your acquaintance. Speaking of acquaintances, you wouldn't happen to run into my attendant in your wanderings, would you? Big, strong lad, long hair tied back. He was escorting me on a shopping errand when I realized I dropped my handkerchief. Now I'm waiting here all alone while he's been off searching for it. I'm not terribly fond of being alone. If you do see him, I'd be obliged if you could pass on this message. Forget the silly handkerchief and return to my side at once. I have to go find a dude. Let's see if he's in here. Oh, looks like he's almost fell off. How long you been hanging there, dude? Wicked white. That was too close. Thank you, friend. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't come along. You could have called for help. I was trying to rescue my lady's handkerchief, you see. The wind must have blown it over the edge, but luckily I caught on something. I thought if I could just stretch out far enough. You risked your life for a scrap of cloth? It's not just a scrap of cloth, not if it belongs to her. I would risk my life and more to spare my mistress but a single moment of sadness. When I first came to Yulmore, I thought only of improving my lot in life. But there was so much more in the city than wealth and plenty. There is no war here, no conflict. The residents all treat each other with warmth and respect. My mistress has ever been so kind to me, and I can think of no other place in Calusia where I could possibly be happier. Sorry, I might have gotten a bit carried away. I find it hard to stop when I start counting my blessings these days. Please, you should come with me to meet my lady. Once she hears of your deed, you'll be witness to her generosity firsthand. What? Lonely, you say? Where's my clumsy feet? I must return to her immediately. My tenant told me everything. I'm so grateful you were there to offer your assistance. You value him highly, then. As if he were a member of my own family, I could not live the wonderful life I lead without him. We free citizens owe the bonded our unending gratitude. Mayhap in another society, our different standing would breed prejudice or resentment. But in Yulmore, a most glorious measure is in place to avert such unpleasantness. Part of that measure requires that the free surrender their fortunes. Upon registration, all of our property, financial, intellectual, otherwise, is given over to the city. In exchange, we are provided with ample funds and commodities to live a life of pampered luxury. Being liberated from the concern of earning coin has an almost miraculous effect on people's outlook. There are no rivals to compete against, only fellow residents with whom to enjoy our tranquil existence. Now, if you'll excuse us, I must see what the markets have to offer as a reward for the return of my handkerchief. Oh, and I've not forgotten you, of course, your courageous messenger turned rescuer. Communism. All this talk of relying on the bonded, and I haven't given a thought as to what your duties might be. I hope I haven't interrupted your work unduly. A tour of the city, is it? Then you really must visit the Beehive. It's always buzzing with activity. Local humor, sorry. Anyway, a lady of the name of Tista B usually has her seat near the entrance. She will gladly speak with you on a number of topics, assuming you find yourself on her good side. Welcome to the beehive, my little drone. Seeking the sting of excitement to liven up your day? I can tell at a glance when folk are new to our happy colony. As the nervous fluttering you see, always gives them away. Why don't you play some cards to set you at your ease, eh? A quick game of high or low. It's simply a matter of guessing who has the bigger hand. If you win, I'll grant you a single favor. Within reason, of course. Interested? Ready for the game of high or low? What are the rules? It's a guessing game. You must decide whether the total of your 3 cards is higher or lower than the total of your opponent's cards. The deck holds 9 cards with pictures printed thereon representing the numbers 1 through 9. Each number appears only once in the deck, so there are no repeats. If you guess correctly, you win. If they're the same, another hand is dealt. Let's play. All right. 3 cards for you, 3 cards for me. You flip one of yours over, and I flip 2 of mine. Now what's your call? Will your total be higher or lower than mine? I'll say high. You're going with high then. Alright, let's see what I've got. My card adds up to 21, and you have a total of 12. Oh, okay, that's her 3, and this is mine. Okay, I get it now. Match goes to me. Let's play again. I thought the whole 6 of those are my cards, which makes no sense because she said we each get 3. I'll say mine's going to be lower. I win, yay! Your guess was right. Usually I concede defeat at this point, but what do you say to a rematch? One more win, then we'll talk about that favor. Come on, we all need our diversions. Let's play. Am I going to start being able to play this as well as Triple Triad? I'm going to say low because I have a 1. All right. Well, look at that. I think you've got a knack for this, newcomer. Victory is yours, and this is the prize I promised. Come whisper in my ear then, don't be shy. Tell Atista what she can do for you. That's all? How delightfully wholesome. But if knowledge is what you want, then that is what you shall have. In my humble estimation, the most wondrous thing about this town is how safe we are from the Sin Eaters. They say Lord Vothru is born with the power to command them, which means no Yulmore need ever raise a weapon in defense of the city. Was that the kind of thing you wish to know? If your itch still needs scratching, you might have a few words get a few words out of Tharn over there. There's not but that Mary Sot likes more than the sound of his own voice. What's that? New to Yulmore, you say? Gahaha. Only just arrived, and already you're looking to peel away the layers of mystery. Oh, I'm all for chatting, but you need to slow down and enjoy life, my friend. Tell you what, you'll hop on stage and give us a dance first, and then we can have our little talk. Children, avert your eyes. Just a regular dance. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Now that was a show. You're welcome to clamber up on stage anytime you like. So, what was you wanted to ask me? Oh yes, something about our fair city. Well, I can tell you it wasn't always so peaceful as it is today. The Yulmoran army may be the very essence of military might, but even our forces saw grievous losses in the war against the Sin Eaters. Things changed for us, around 20 years ago, and when the old ruler's son came to power. He's got his way with the Eaters, you see. Turns them docile as house cats. I wouldn't be exaggerating to say they become something of an ally to Yulmore. No longer an enemy to be feared. And yet elsewhere, there are still fools who insist on fighting their losing battles. A toast, Lord Vothri. You gain preliminary sense of the city. The Chais and Alphino will be expecting your return. So this Lord Vothri is somehow has power over these creatures. That doesn't sound good. Can I attune yet? Oh, you've returned from your jaunt around the city so soon? You need to have hurried back. Young Alphino has yet to put brush to canvas. One cannot rush good art, I am told, or good artists, apparently. Ah, finally. He changed. I put together an ensemble out of the garments you chose. Is this satisfactory? Oh, goodness gracious me. That last outfit was precious, but this makes you look positively dashing. You truly are a handsome boy. However, am I decide? You decide. What happened to painting? Exactly. The lad is an artist, dearest, not a dress-up doll. It's about time we set him to work for the reason we called him here. Must we? I do love a good painting, but I thought since we are enjoying ourselves so thoroughly... Well, I'd not... That is to say, as long as you... just make sure you give the lad time to prepare. We know he'll be upset. We know he'll be upset if he's not ready to paint at a moment's notice. Whatever you say, darling. So, should I pick out some jewelry next? Lady Chai has a very particular sense of beauty, and apparently that extends to how I should dress whilst painting. But this obsession of hers works in our favor. The time I spent indulging these distractions is time you can use to continue your explorations. For this excursion, I'd like you to delve into a layer below us and sniff out the military headquarters. I'm sure the understory has its own tale to tell. How does the lift work? Can I just... Frosty booty. Nice. Can I just lift down? Okay, so it's a up and down top to bottom. So to get to the middle one, I have to go manually. I see. Alright, where do I start? I don't see anything to click on up here. Go down more. Okay. Still don't see anything to click on. Maybe it's the person over here. Yep. A weeping warbler. Snob sniff. You're one of the bonded, aren't you? Like me? Please, I need your help. My throat, I can't sing anymore. I've been making excuses, but it's just not getting any better. If my patron thinks I'm of no use to him, then I need to sneak out to the derelicts and describe my condition to Thorich. There's a list of symptoms and a hunk of mail to pay for his medicines. Please, I have no one else to turn to. I'm going to use the Aethernet shard. That's too close to the night soil pots. Why didn't you just say that? Let's sprint over. Made it a lot faster to teleport, but whatever. Hey, you need medicines, tonics, potions? A cure for an ailing voice, is it? No, no medicine to cure this. Methinks your songbird has a lump in her throat. It must be cut out, excised, and even then the voice may never heal completely. Hey, poor little songbird. Will they kick her out from the nest, I wonder? Or simply silence her chirps? Oh, your face. You didn't know? Of the many hopefuls who enter the city, very few are ever seen to leave, even as corpses. You might see one or two fortunate fools who are for the balconies, but the rest, gone. A town of nightmares it is. Not for this ship's rat. Oh, no, no. I'm content to scurry around down here and nibble on the crumbs which fall from the table. This consultation is over. I have my verdict, and I have my meal. Good day. Was it the mainstay? Yes. Did you get my medicine? He said there is no medicine for it. Alright. So that's it? What am I to do if I can't sing? Ah, there you are, my sweet canary. Have you been crying again? Don't tell me your voice is still not on the mend. Oh, generous sir, have mercy. I've done all I can, but even the apothecary said... Explain. So you've been suffering all this time? I am sorry, pet. I hadn't realized your affliction was this grave, but you needn't fret. I'll not reward your hours of trilling by casting you out onto the streets. You are too kind, sir. Well, what use am I if I cannot sing? I fear the day I become more burden to you than treasure. Then I shall have a word with Lord Vothry, and arrange for your ascension. In that paradise where resides neither pain nor illness, will your song ring out clearly once again. Or mayhap you think I had a step too far? No, you would do that for me? Of course. Why, I would almost wish to hasten my own ascension, knowing your blessed instrument was waiting there to greet me. Ascension? Exactly. Turning into food. Ah, you must be a new arrival. Allow me to explain. As all know, the Sin Eaters exist to devour the sinful, but also they serve to gather the souls of the innocent and shepherd them into celestial paradise. It is through Lord Vothry that we learn this truth. It is through Lord Vothry's grace that the free people of Yulmore are destined to embrace salvation. We are blessed to spend our days surrounded by love and merriment until at last we are called to our final rapture. Even the bonded may find a place within that host, should their patrons deem them worthy. Lord Vothry truly is a great man, isn't he? Now, if you'll excuse us, we must be on our way. May you find eternal salvation for the compassion you have shown my precious canary. Ascension. I don't know about that. That's right, I have to go all the way up manually because I don't have the Aetheryte. I don't have permission to use it. Let's try again. I doubt I have the permission, but it may just be a random thing that shows up after you. No, okay. I'll probably get a thing saying you can eat, you can blah 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 now. It's good to see you back. You were taking so long and began to worry something had happened. I began sketching an outline for the portrait, but nay, the child appear otherwise occupied. Will you share what your investigations have gleaned thus far? So Lord Vothry boasts some manner of influence over the Sea Eater, says he. Thou explain the reverence in which he is held by the citizenry. And for this ascension business, I cannot help but be put in mind of that apothecary and his ominous remarks. If so many folk have entered the city over the years, then where do they go? I take my eye off you for one moment, and you're chattering away with that assistant of yours. Am I to assume the outline is done then? What in the blazes? It's so unflattering. Explain yourself, Alphino. Where is your artistic interpretation? It should evoke images of affluence and nobility, and overwhelm the viewer with its boundless beauty. Lord Cha, you stated that this portrait was to commemorate your anniversary. Whereas being a joyous union, it would seem to me that a realistic portrayal... Realistic? I don't want realism, I want perfection. A spectacle to slacken jaws and weaken knees, to make people cry out in amazement. Now, fetch a blank canvas, and... Ah! A screaming man. I say, did that come from above? Lord of Vothry, I presume? Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please, a tale to make you quiver and your noble blood freeze. There was a villain on the loose, set to ruin our fair city. But our Lord has got him now, and his fate will not be pretty. Is the hammer of justice... Yes, the hammer of justice is poised to come crashing down, and one and all who'd watch it fall are invited to join his lordship in the offer. Malcontent? How dreadful. And this man is to face sentencing? That's right. In fact, if you're curious, it might be worth you going along for the experience. The offer they mention is part of the Emergent, the level above us, where Lord Vothry resides. Ordinarily, you'd be barred from entering, but it seems they'll be opening its doors for the next little while. The crowd lift will take you up there. What about the stairs? Had better not dawdle then. Here, see, there's some stairs. Where do they go? I'll just take the lift, but whatever. Let's go check it out. Music got cool.
That's him. That's Vothry.
He's a big man.
He's attended by sin eaters. But how does he keep them from attacking?
Mercy! Mercy!
By the 12.
Let's get in front of everybody. Oh, that's the guy that came in.
Kaishia, what happened to you?
impudent louts. I do not recall requesting their presence.
Lord Vorthree, what is the meaning of this? Why is this poor man bleeding to death on your floor?
Why? You ask me why? Because criminals must be punished. And this man is guilty of fraud.
Hmm.
Claiming to be a man of business. Yet his subsequent conduct has shown him to be anything but. Europe is a city built on love for one's fellow man. Those who have naught to give and live only to take are a blight upon our society. To atone for this crime, I ordered that he fling himself from the balcony. And he had the temerity to weep. Please, my lord, anything but that. What then is a man of mercy to do? I offer the sinner another way to show his contrition.
Another way? What exactly?
Cutting off his arm?
Sin eaters are part of Yulmor's society, but they must be fed with ether. Living ether. So, I demanded an offering of flesh, carved by his own hand, from his own hide. And still, he could not do as I asked. A wholly unsatisfactory performance.
It is true that Kaishir won his place here by fraud, but his actions were driven only by desire to share in your paradise. That you would cast him out, I could almost accept, but to humiliate him thus, to demand his very life? Is this truly the way of Yulmor?
Pause to consider what it takes to maintain such a paradise in this barren, broken world of ours? The guarantee of safety and stability. The knowledge that if one only abides by the rules, one has naught to fear. I alone can offer these things, for I alone can command the Sin Eaters. And thus am I alone the voice of justice, and any who oppose me, villains to be punished.
Let's do this.
Call this paradise.
You were granted a place in my city for a particular skill. What was it?
Painting.
Oh, an artiste! Then you shall paint a picture for me of Yulmor. If I find your art pleasing, then I may excuse this display of insolence. Gave you permission to tend to that wound? I told you to paint me a picture!
Giant child.
What you need is a mirror, not a painting. It will capture the horror I see before me far better than I
Dang.
Can you walk? I think so.
Glare, glare, glare.
Did that little worm just insult me?
It took him a minute. What? It's hard for him to stand up.
I'll kill them! I'll kill them all! I'll enslave their minds! I'll torment them! Torture them! Then tear out their hearts!
The things people will put up with. Just to live in paradise, I guess? Dot, dot, dot. Forgive me, in my anger I seem to have marched us back outside again, but it's probably best we leave the island altogether. I believe we've worn out our welcome in Yulmore. I need to get my eighth right. In any case, I've seen enough of the world's self-proclaimed capital city to convince me that our battle against the Sea Eaters will find few allies in Calusia. I'll accompany you back to the Crystarium. We need to regroup and think on our strategy anew. His wounds healed. Oh, that's right. Alphino did it. Cashier. Bob, dang it. You were hungry and desperate, and I offered you a solution without once considering the risks inherent in you accepting it. If I had known about the price you'd be made to pay. You gave me everything I needed to make your idea work. It was me who made a mess of things, not you. Yet even after all the trouble I caused, you still stepped in and saved me. And now Lord Vothry wants us all dead. Why not come back with us to the Crystarium? I'm certain we can find work for you there if you are willing. Do it. No, that would just mean me leaning on your kindness again. I need to do some thinking. Learn how to stand on my own 2 feet. Why don't you take it as a temporary measure then? Very well, but you must promise you'll be careful. The Yulmorans may yet come looking for us. I'll keep my head down, don't worry. And you take care too. Give me the chance to repay what you've done for me. Alphino. Lord and Lady Chai. What in the blazes did you do? They have the entire city looking for you. I took a peek at your unfinished portrait, Alphino. I have had many a beautiful and striking picture painted for me, but there was something about your work. It was as if you had caught the very essence of our love and rendered it naked upon the canvas. It was bold, unflinching, and I adored it. Please, you must come back with us and finish what you began. I will speak with Lord Vothry and vouch for your character. I'm sure we can smooth over any hard feelings. I'm sorry, Lady Chai. There are more important matters to which I must attend. More important? What can be more important than enjoying the days we have left to us to the fullest? Pray press me no further. We are leaving, but I would not presume to take the garments you were so kind as to procure for me. One moment. I wouldn't hear of it. Keep the clothes, you silly boy. I insist. I shall make arrangements so that you can pass through the gate without causing a stir. I expect you to come and visit. I will return, I promise you that. The outrage I witnessed must not go unanswered. The next we meet, I shall be better prepared to confront the corruption which hides behind the glittering facade. Gotta go back in. Oh, all the way back at the Crystarium, it seems. Wait, no. Where is he? Why is it saying go to Crystarium when there's nothing there? Oh, that's the Alizé one. I need to go pretty close though. Like right next to that entrance. It's like covered up barely. You can barely see it. Thank you, my friend, for staying at my side through this whole sordid endeavor. While it's not quite the joyous outcome I had hoped for, our efforts have nevertheless answered a great many questions. Suffice it to say, our plans for saving the first are unlikely to involve the aid of Lord Valtteri and his subjects. Come, we must speak at the Exarch and chart a new course. That is far from over. Let's finish this one, and then we can move on to the Alizé one. It's good to be back amongst friends. In such company, I can finally turn my thoughts to the future. But ere we discuss all we have learned and begin planning our next step, I think it best that you visit Alizé. Her familiarity with Amarang will no doubt provide us with invaluable insight, and besides, I know she is as eager to see you as I was. Bring a smile to her face, Malgazar. Onward to the Alizé quests. If you come looking for work, I might have a spot for another guard. Oh, a friend of the Exarch, hoping to meet someone in Amarang, are you? Then I shall be your guide. I was about to set off for our outpost there, as a matter of fact, so we can leave right away, assuming you have everything you need. Oh, then off to the unforgiving sands we go.
From this parched earth, the nation of Nabath, Arang, once rose. When I journeyed here, long ago, I spoke with a sun-weathered elder. He told me Armarang meant majestic land in the language of his people. And so it might still be, were it not for the light's unrelenting onslaught.
New zone, who this? Oof, no matter how many times I come here, the heat never fails to catch me off guard. Don't be surprised when the temperature drops at night, though. The sky is still bright, of course, but it gets brisk enough to make you shiver. Now, the Exarch's letter said I was to take you to the inn at the journey's head, which is where this Alizé friend of yours is staying. But that's a fair old distance, so I propose we make a stop and moored suit, break up the trek, allowing me to attend to some business and you to enjoy the local hospitality. Sound good? Good. Alright, you lot, I'm off, and I better not see the goods covered in sand when I get back. Alright, we head southwest, straight as an arrow. west. What? Gigantender. Look at these giant cactuses. This is ridiculous looking. Stop here a moment. This is your first visit to Amarang, is it not? Before you could cross the River of Sand, you need to turn around and feast your eyes on that. They built them big, didn't they? This is Castle Charles, a fortress meant to protect the northern reaches of Nabatharang. Seeing what was left behind, I believe it when I say that this was once Norvrent's mightiest nations. Late until the flood came along, great chunks of Nabatharang's lands were lost to the light, its great city included. The few who survived didn't see much point in staying. Most of them, anyway. No, not many choose to come here these days, even with everything not with everything in ruins. Even the hulking great fortress has become little more than a marrow roost for me and my caravan. But not everywhere as deserted as this place. Just waiting to see Mordsuk. Let's press on, shall we? Yes, let's. More sand dudes. Oh, cool. They have one of the spine of this dead creature. Oh, I can walk up this. That's nice. What do I call it? Samuel's backbone. I'll talk to you momentarily. I have a couple spots I need to check out. Actually, you know what? They're probably going to send me there anyway. Here we are, Mordsuk. By the Blessed Shadow, I love this town. Mordsuk, not just full of Mord, but humans and all manner of others too. It has been a long been a refuge for folk displaced by the flood, as the population is nothing if not diverse. Oh, have you met a Mord before? They may look like shifty little bladders, but a more welcoming lot you could ever wish to meet. Speaking of which, we should pay our respects to Master Gengen. I'll go ahead and let him know we've arrived. So they're kobolds. Oh, look at their little faces. They don't have the armor on like they do back on Heidelin. Might be one in this town too. This is 150 yalms, so it might just be around the corner. Let's have a look-see, shall we? How do I... Must be a way down. Okay. It's a kobold.
Master Gengen, this is the friend of the Exarch I was telling you about.
It's ignored me.
Good. Though friend or no, all are welcome in Mord's.
Souk is Mordish for city. As things stand, this souk boasts the largest and busiest marketplace in all Armorang. You'll find ore from the mines here, of course, but all manner of other things too, many of them rare. As I told you before, not many visit Armorang by choice, but Mord Souk's a different story. Merchants come from miles around to purchase the relics the Mord dig up.
Aye, that they do. For Mord do not dismiss the spoils of the earth. We clean them and polish them and reveal to the world their true value. That is why they come here, come from far away, come with much money. And so our souk is always busy, busy, busy. No such thing as a thing no one needs.
You say that every time, Master Gengen. Some sort of family motto, wasn't it? Or perhaps a Mord philosophy, for which we should all be very grateful. Would that everyone was willing to take in refugees regardless of race or creed. Now then, if you intend to spend any time here, you'll want to gain the trust of the locals. And there's a little custom all newcomers are expected to observe.
Fetch quests.
The cracking of the coin purse. You buy one thing from the market. Price can be low or high, just as long as you buy.
As the newspaper says. In fact, the Exarch sent a little something to cover this very expense. A Verbert gold piece, no less. The first I've held in years.
That's why you have it.
Verbert gold? Real Verbert gold?
Here, newcomer, crack your coin purse with me.
Oh no, you want my goods, newcomer? I have jars and pots all smooth and shiny.
Over here! Come and look!
You buy, you buy?
Enough of that! Calm, I say! This one must still journey through the barrens. Nothing bulky, nothing heavy, no pots. Nothing better for the road than a full belly. Spend that piece at Ronron's place, yes? Eat for 3 before you leave.
Have you decided for me? Everyone's like, "Aww." You shouldn't have said that out loud. Shouldn't have told you that. Welcome to Ronron's venture. I have wares to empty your purse and fill your belly. Take your time, stare and sniff for you choose, but no drooling on the merchandise, yes? Target the foodstuff and inspect it. Worms. Everyone's favorite, plump white worms slathered in honey. Once you eat a glazed wriggler, you'll never want any other treats. We call that mush loaf. The middle is stuffed with bittersweet cactus fruits, so even if the bread dries out, it's still moist inside. Keeps you going in the heat. That's my ever-burning bounty, made of the best parts of the lizard, cured of special spicy spices. Some find the smell challenging, but it'll warm you up in chilly desert nights. Oh, you like those? Chewy skewers. Find small frogs hiding under rocks, spear a stick, then roast over fire. Crackle on the outside, gooey on the inside. Perfect for snacking. They all look tasty, yes? Which to choose? Which to choose? Let's get the meat. I like spicy food. Not super spicy, but dang. Yes, put some spice in your step. You won't feel the chill this night, and probably not the next one either. You have the gold? And done. One verbatite honor buys you 10 sides of lizard meat. Excuse me. It's empty in my hands. Just chow it down. Ah. But that spicy, huh? Every last mouthful, eat it all. What an appetite, what a belly. A new legend is born in Mordsuk. Consider your coin purse cracked. I'm pleased to accept your custom, and Gen will be pleased that you have honored ours. Ooh. Struggling to stand up. Keeping the merchandise down, yes? No returns. I was watching from here, Malkazar. You honored our custom and with great relish. You'll always be welcome in Mordsuk. If you need anything on Meringue, we're here to provide. Gah! You have courage, my friend. Ron's wares are more exotic than harmful, but I don't envy you the bellyache you'll have on the morrow. Right, now that you've eaten, I expect you're eager to get back on the road. Would you mind if we delayed our departure a touch? I have a few deals left to close before I can conclude my business here in Mordsuk. Oh, offering your services, are you? I, well, an assistant would certainly help hurry things along. I have a receipt here for some goods that need picking up for the market. All properly paid for, you just need to do the lifting and carrying. I'll go and take care of some last minute haggling then. See you in a bit. Review at any time with key items menu. Tauntaun, Tallful, Mill. Mill. Let's see if coin the bottom. Oh, you work for Cassard. Mill has antiques all boxed up ready for transport. Is it Mill or Mill? I thought it was Mill. To be collected from Mill. Okay, gotcha. I should read it. Sarge did he? Right, yes. What kind of ore was it again? Iron ore. Was I correct? I have to remember. It's like a mini game. Have to read it and remember. Let's get to a fight. It's been a while since I've fought anything. Tauntaun table cactus. You came with Cassard, yes? Good. I can finally stop thinking about the sack. Please take your prickly purchase. And the Mool has the box of antiquities. Hey, no touching. The merchandise is spoken for. You couldn't possibly change my mind with a better offer. What? Cassard sent you? Why didn't you say so? I wouldn't dream of selling his goods to a higher bidder. Oh, no, no, no. Now about the Rang relics, was it? All packed in the box there. Handled with care. Alright, let's move on. Don't tell me you've been around the entire market already. I'm good. I wasn't even that good. I messed up a couple times. Alright, that's a lot, alright. Good work. And quick work too, considering you've not set foot in the place before. I thought you'd want to sit in a city like the Exarch, but something tells me you're not a stranger to visiting strange lands. Unfortunately, your efficiency presents something of a problem. I hope to conclude all my business before you return, but it seems there's been some confusion over one of the orders I placed. I'll have to drag in my middleman and sort this mess out. I'm sorry to make you sit around and twiddle your thumbs. Sorry, it feels like an age since the last I saw you. Well, if it isn't the lovely Tesleen. It's been a while, but your timing couldn't be better. This gentleman was on his way to meet with Alizé. I'm supposed to be taking him to your corner of the desert, but a misplaced order has commandeered my attention. Wait, I know who you are. Alizé has told me so much about you. You're Malkazair, aren't you? Yep, floating shield and everything. I knew it. How wonderful to meet you in the flesh after hearing all those stories. I'm Tesleen. I work as a carer at the inn. And I've gotten to know Alizé quite well since she took up guard duties there. You want me to take over as Malkazair's guide, Cassard? My shopping's all done and packed for the road, so it would be no trouble. That would be a great help, thank you. Well, it looks like you'll be able to head straight out after all. My caravan and I will be in the area for a while yet. Seek me out when you've had your fill of Emerang, and I'll send you back to the Crystarium. This is a handpiece, handgear coffer. Alizé has been desperate to see you, Malkazair, so let's get you to her sooner rather than later. The inn isn't too hard to find, really. You can actually see the top of the rock spires from here. Can I? I don't even know where it is. We just need to swing around the ridge, then head south. Come on, I'll get my supplies together and meet you outside. Well, there's a blue quest, though. You hold your horses. Yeah. Handle that first. Really? All the way up there? Whatever. Couldn't make it more lame, could you? Let's have to cross the bridge. I'll just run through these guys. Hey, look, it says syllabus. I know that's not what it says, but... There, cleaned up quite a bit of room. Fails to blah blah blah. Did I get my mount speed increase yet? The fact that in Calusia I only got half of the map makes me think that this is a lot like the Garabania ones where you get half at a time. You come back later. I'm just teleporting. I'm not going to walk all the way down there. Of course, I get on a mount that makes it look like I'm going super slow, but that's fine. It's all the same speed. All set? Oh, I should probably mention the wildlife. While most of them will leave you be if you keep your distance, the local coyotes have learned to prey on folk heading home from the markets. I can usually swing a sword well enough to fend them off, but I may have loaded myself down too many bargains today. You think you can handle any beasts that try to make a meal of us? Yep. I thought you might. Ozzy was always saying how much you... I mean, let's get going, shall we? How much I kill things? Sandshrews. Hey look, Twitch. I'm on Twitch too. Alright, so that's good to get back into combat. I need to rearrange some stuff here. I just kind of remember where it is. Sorry, there wasn't much time to shout a warning. Were you bitten? Those things can be nasty. And it hardly a match for you, it seems. I'd always thought Alize was strong, but in her mind she was never... now it makes sense. Well, we should push on. It might be best if you scout ahead and clear out any coyotes that have our scent. I'll wait here so you can fight without any distractions. And then have to walk all the way back. That's it right there, little spire area. Cool. There it is, destination. Yep, have to go back. Hey, look, Aether Current. Should be looking for those, but whatever. Oh, thank goodness you're back. I could hear the howling and snarling from here. Frightful creatures. Let's hope the rest have seen your handiwork and know to avoid us now. I need to get these supplies back to the inn. Later, Sandshrew. Yep. This is it. Thanks to you, I didn't have to drop my shopping even once. Come to think of it, I'm glad I didn't make the trip alone. It seems you ended up escorting me. I'll have to repay the favor somehow, but first let's head inside, shall we? Let's find Alizé. See how things are going on out here. Hopefully it's a better situation than friggin' Yulemore. That was stupid ridiculous. Pretty bad out here, it looks. I mean, bad everywhere, I assume, in one way or another. Welcome to the inn at Journey's Head. You might be our first visitor from the Crystarium since Alizé arrived. It's not much, but it's home for the afflicted and a handful of carers. The afflicted? Oh, you don't know? I don't think I've met anyone besides Alizé who is so unfamiliar with our situation here. Most folk have grown up knowing someone who knew someone. You're struggling with that box, why don't you put it down? I might leave out something obvious, so it might be best to have Alizé give you the full explanation. Going straight over? Yeah. Let's explore first. Let's get the two things. Nice, right next to us. Do I need permission to use this one? Stupid. Not my bird, no. And 1 second left. Perfect. Now, where is she? I think she might be out on patrol. I could wait. You could wait, I suppose, but why not go and surprise her? She usually looks at the things from Watchtower first, so you might be able to catch her there. It's not far. Head to the south side, you'll soon see it. I'll stay behind in case she comes back while you're gone. I'm gonna take a slight detour. We'll get this aetherite. Or not aetherite, aether current. Ancient lizard. Sandsucker. These names. Is it over in the trees? Oh, it's right there. I see it. Some zombies. I'm already caught up to how many of the aether currents I found in Calusia, so this may be one of those zones where I get it all done at once. Or maybe not. It may be the exact same. Later, zombies. Oh, that crystal. Looks like the whole city. Look at that. Parts of the city are sticking out of it. It's like a wave of crystal. Hey, Yoink. Al's is nowhere to be seen, but you spot fresh footprints in the ground, and they look to be the right size. Northwest. Fine. To the west. Looks like a mess. There are more tracks here, but they end in a mess of disturbed sand. Did I come just in time? Yeah, seriously, look at that thing.
Get back here! Is that
Don't get distracted. Impressive.
just a lesser sin eater? Nothing to write home about.
Well, excuse me.
I knew you'd turn up sooner or later, but I had been hoping for sooner.
Sorry. Look at my legs.
How are you?
I am a nod. And then I would explain my situation.
We fought them to a standstill then. The Exarch did say that the Empire seemed to have drawn back when he last looked in on the source. But without knowing for sure how fast time was passing there, I couldn't help worrying that a lot might have happened since then. I'm heartily relieved to hear that it hasn't, just as Alphino must have been. As you can imagine, both he and Urianger were desperate to hear the news from home when I arrived. I haven't actually seen Thancred and Y'shtola yet, but they will have heard all the latest developments from the Exarch by now, or should have at least. When I think of how frantic Tataru and the others must be, I want nothing more than to rush back and reassure them. But we still haven't found a way to reverse the summoning, and even if we had, we couldn't just ignore Urianger's vision. He may use 10 words where one would suffice, and they may often obscure as much as they reveal. But on this matter, he was as clear as day. I do not doubt for one moment that he saw what he claims.
What if it was planted there?
Nor how difficult it must have been to speak about them. The 8th Umbral Calamity and your death aren't exactly topics for idle conversation. As much as I might want to go home, I don't want to go home to that. We can't allow the rejoining to happen, which means we have to save the first from the Sin Eaters.
We have to bring the shadow, huh? Come on, say it.
All of white is a remnant of the flood. 100 years ago, the balance in the first tipped decisively in favor of light. From that moment, it rose and swelled with each passing day, and then, without warning, it burst forth like water from a broken dam. A colossal wave of pure light, drowning everything in its wake. Only Norvrant was spared.
Oh, Norvrant is the name of the country or
For the most part,
continent, I guess.
things are composed of ether of various different aspects. But when exposed to such a flood, their etheric harmony is shattered, and their natural form breaks down. Then they either perish, or are warped into mindless abominations. Yes, that's how the Sin Eaters came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, caught in the path of the land. Once the change is wrought, there is no going back. In that instant, they are gripped by an insatiable appetite for ether, and will happily gorge themselves on any living thing within reach. But even that is not the worst of it.
Whisper, whisper.
The stronger Sin Eaters can plant light in us, like seeds in soil, corrupting our ether, and triggering the birth of new monstrosities.
They can create Sin Eaters.
They are creatures of base instinct, that exist only to feed and to multiply. They feel no pity, know no remorse, and are utterly deaf to reason. Which is why they must be destroyed. Every last one of them. The infirmary is full of the Sin Eaters' victims, left here to spend their final hours waiting for the change to overtake them.
Why don't you just give them a mercy? That's what they're afflicted with. Is the seed of light. It's just a matter of time. More for some, less for others. Those patients will all become monsters in the end. And at insult to injury, the afflicted are feared, shunned, cast out of the society, and exiled here to the edge of the world. The only good thing I have to say about this hellish place is that it has served me well as a training ground. Tesleen and the others have also been kind enough to share their knowledge to the Sin Eaters, which is knowledge I can now share with you, while you help me finish my patrol, of course. Here's what we'll do. I'll take the east side of the inn, you clear the west. That way you can have an undiluted experience with the resident terrors. These marks on your map are where the usual patrol spots are. You could assume that any beast with a white hide or carapace is a Sin Eater, but you'll know for sure soon enough when you become slavering after your ether. Remember, it's kill or be killed with these monsters. Once you've slain whatever's patrolling around out there, we can rendezvous back at North Entrance. Good luck. Well, that's lit up. So there were none here. Cool. wonder if we're gonna do all the primals out here in this new world. I'm just gonna teleport. Much faster. Especially when you're in the same zone and it's already loaded up. How did you fare? I killed 2. I thought there might be 1 or 2 lurking on the fringes. Nothing out of the ordinary for this area. I expect you notice it yourself, but individually, these lesser sin eaters are no more deadly than any natural predator you might encounter in the desert. It's when they appear in numbers that they pose a threat. Much like the void scent, they have an unfortunate tendency to flock to the strongest of their kind. Thus, when a powerful sin eater goes on the hunt, it might be attended by a veritable swarm of weaker kin. Imagine an army of such creatures descending on a village or hamlet. That's the basic idea behind my patrols, to cull their ranks often enough that their numbers won't be overwhelming when the big ones come out to play. And you've certainly helped on that front. Let's report the victories to Tesleen, shall we? That tells me you helped out on her patrol. You have our thanks, and my apologies for leading you from one battle to another ever since the moment we met. In any case, I'm glad to see the 2 of you found each other. You have no idea how bad Alize has missed your company. Everything is always, if Malchezair were here, he would. That's an exaggeration. I don't sound like that either. I was simply trying to view matters from another's perspective, and I respect Malchezair's methods. Honestly, after seeing him in action, I can understand why. The way he leaps into the fray without hesitation, it really is something to behold. I might be a little smitten myself. Alize? Gasp. I'm only teasing, though I have no doubt he deserves all the admiration he gets, just as you do. I got a new hat. Cool. Aw. Back out on that. Look at my hat. Cool. I love to lay out a welcome meal, but the duties I put off when I went to the market are still waiting for me. There are 101 things that need doing. I'm sorry, but would you mind waiting here with Alize? What, and twiddle our thumbs while you work yourself to death? Sure, there's something we can help you with. I could do with a hand, it's true. Thank you. You can start by helping me sort out the larder, Alize. While we do that, could you attend to a few patients, perhaps? There are 3 in particular I meant to visit. It's just a matter of saying a few words to them and seeing that their skin isn't caked in sand. Their names are Paniel, Todd, and Halric. They may not give much in the way of response, but I promise they'll be pleased to meet someone new. I'm the Warrior of Light. Ah! I'm scared of me. Warrior of Light. The Warriors of Light ruined this star, is what they say. Thank you. Nothing for me. He glances up at you blankly, but you notice the tension in his face ease slightly. Oh, it's a kid. He remains utterly still as you wipe the sand from his cheek. The texture of his skin is hardened into something akin to plaster. That's not good. You've seen to the patients. How were they? Good, that's good. I knew they would enjoy meeting you. I am concerned about Halric, though. I'll have to speak with the other carers, but I think that his time may be near. We shall leave you to that discussion then. I was going to take Malkazir to Mordsuk if you have any errands here that need doing. Or any errand there. Well, I suppose there's one thing. Will you pick up a nectarine for the markets, please? Kazard's caravan just passed through, so Ron should have some fresh fruit. Come then, Malkazir. There's something I want you to see. Right after we stop at Ron's stall, of course. It'd be nice if all the quests were synced. That way, no matter what level you were, it was always worth doing something. Especially when you have you're down to the MSQ and you have to be like, I'm going to work on this DPS. And you have all these quests. They'd be like, well, this one's level 5 and you're level 30. And you're like, great, that's awesome. Then we don't have to like have a spreadsheet out and trying to do research to figure out where you should go. Oh, back again, are you? You need another taste of Ron's wares? Actually, we're looking to buy a nectarine. Do you have any in stock? Oh yes, nectarines, peaches, grapes, fresh and juicy. Given how richly you cracked your coin purse with me, I might still owe you food. Here, take this one, free of charge. Gods, I've never seen a moored merchant give away something for nothing before. How much coin did you spend here? Oh yes, I'll take a jar of honeyed worms as well. Huh? Oh no, they're not for me. It's an offering of sorts. The worms, if you please. Only the best regulars for you. Come again, my friends. Right. That's our shopping chores taken care of. Let's head up past the 8th right to the main tower. The view I want to show you can only be seen from its very top. Here are your precious worms. That buys us a trip to the top of the tower, does it not? Please, regulars, you actually brought them. I really shouldn't let you in, but just this once, alright? Only once. Never fails, shall we? No walls? Just fall right off.
What the land became after the light flooded in. An empty white nothingness. Life cannot exist in such conditions. The primordial light would wreak havoc on the body's etheric balance. That nectarine you bought. It's Halric's favorite fruit.
So tiny in my hands.
Most of the patients, Halric included, survived the attacks of powerful eaters. But their fate was sealed all the same. The monster's corruption has entered their bodies, and their very essence is being subsumed by light.
Can the Warrior of Light remove it?
The twisted state of the world itself just makes matters worse. Under normal circumstances, a person's ether naturally tends to equilibrium. But for these poor souls, the opposite is true. Sooner or later, every single one of them will turn. Tesleen and the patients, they all know this. They know what has to be done before the change goes too far, before the eater within takes over. The preferred method is mixing poison into their favorite food. In my time here, I've borne witness to a lot of last meals. I feel just as helpless as before. No matter how hard I fight, it's never enough. It's a war I mean to wage, nonetheless. Speaking of wars, do you remember how I made you promise not to leave me and then promptly collapsed? Well, let's just say I had a few choice words for the Exarch concerning the timing of his summons. But even if the fault lay with someone else, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd abandon you on the battlefield. So I swore that I'd make up for my absence there by making a difference here. And that's what keeps me moving forward, even when things seem hopeless. On which note, it's time we headed back. The longer we keep Tesleen waiting, the harder this will be for her.
They're going to poison the guy. I'm glad I was able to show you that. When it comes to understanding the catastrophe which befell the first, one glimpse of the empty wasteland beyond the wall is worth more than an hour of Lurianje's lecturing. And I needed you to know beyond a doubt that Tesleen has no other choice. The nectarine will be a kindness. It isn't just the threat posed to others. When a person becomes an eater, the pain appears to be excruciating. The carers are truly fond of their wards and would spare them that suffering. It is their way of fighting back against a fate worse than death. You're back. I hope you had a nice time. Did you manage to find a nectarine? Thank you. I'll just explain why I wanted this, Hashi. I can see it in your eyes. But we may not need it just yet. I spoke with the others, and we've decided to keep an eye on Halric for now. Thanks to you, though, if his time does come suddenly, we'll be ready to send him on his way with a taste of happier days. Well, nothing is going to happen for a little while yet, so let's see if we can't lighten the mood. We don't want our gloomy faces worrying the patients. I think it's time for that welcome meal, don't you? Take a seat, and I'll make us a nice stew. Get comfortable. Better.
Speak up if you'd like another helping. I made a little bit more than usual today.
And you've added something special to the broth, if I'm not mistaken.
Aye, well, it's not often we have visitors from the Crystarium, so I may have thrown in a few extra bits and bobs.
You need to have gone to the trouble. You can't see my mouth anymore.
Oh, it's nothing, really. And we do so rarely have guests. In a place like this, you learn to take what moments of happiness you can get. I remember when I first came here with my mother. She was showing the early signs. I knew there was no way to save her, but I just couldn't face what needed to be done. That's the way of it for most people. Why they travel from arms to stay here. Beaten, broken souls come to wait out the inevitable, to receive the mercy of a painless death. When my mother finally left this world, I was mad with grief, but also thankful that her passing was a peaceful one. never easy, ending a life you've cared for, even when you believe they go on to a better place. I often find myself wishing the Warrior of Darkness would come and do that part for me.
The Warrior of Darkness?
You've never heard the tale? I'm not sure where it began, but every child in Norvrent could tell you a version. Warrior of Darkness, servant of death, take care of our souls at our dying breath. Let sinners and eaters of sin go with thee, that all may return to the sunless sea. Well, that's the version I was taught anyway. It's just an old bedtime story. He's certainly never deigned to visit us here.
Which is a good thing, surely. He sounds rather ominous.
Do you think so? I always liked the idea that he treated every soul the same, even the Sin Eaters.
Alize, you know about the Warriors of Darkness. What are you saying?
They're coming.
Desleen! Have you seen Halric? I swear, I only took my eyes off him for a moment.
They always say it's just a moment when it's more like 5-10 minutes. No, because they're Alize, we have got to look. We have to go look for Halric. I don't know what's gotten into him, but if he's wandering out there alone, we'll assign search parties and split up. Any idea where he might be headed? No, he's never done anything like this before, but it can't be coincidence that the other patients are suddenly so agitated. They can sense something. In any case, let's keep the search close to the inn. Halric isn't very sure on his feet, so he won't have gone far. I'll search the east side. Please, Halric, please be alright. I'll cover the north and west then. You take everything from here to the south. Excuse me. And cast about. See no sign, he may have went further west. This music's actually pretty nice. You're saying your surroundings is your Halric and suddenly find yourself under attack. Another Sin Eater. You can tell by the name, Forgiven. Okay, so all of the AoEs out here have that extra glow to them. Which is kind of cool.
Any sign of him? No luck then. But he surely can't have gone far. We should keep looking. The Sin Eaters are out in force, and if we don't find him soon, you can be sure they will. Did you see the size of that thing? It must be one of the nasty ones. Wherever it's going, it can only mean trouble. After it!
We're gonna deal with Halric later? Or is it going after Halric?
There it is!
Yeah, there he is.
Is that... Oh, oh no! Halric!
Cut its wing off. Nice.
We have to run.
No, she's afflicted.
No!
Better focus on the battle.
We all deserve happiness, wherever we can find it. The time left to you is precious. No one should die in vain. Mother,
Did it straight up kill her, or is it converting her? Oh. Look at that mouth. Dang. Is it flying without with its wing cut?
No, 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 no!
I'm sorry, Malkazar. I tried to tell the carers what happened, but I can't be the shoulder they lean on, not like this. It's just so unfair. Tesleen was always so cheery with the patients, telling them not to be scared, that there wouldn't be any pain. All the people in the world to suffer such fate. Captain Onion. I imagine you're just as shocked as the rest of us, so I appreciate what you're doing here. Me, I don't have the words. Without a body, we can't even give her a proper burial. And she cared about that sort of thing, about giving people the chance to say their goodbyes. Dot, dot, dot. Unresponsive as ever, he stands motionless, staring up into the sky where the seniors made their escape. I've spoken with the Cares. Thank you. What you're doing, it means a lot to them, to me. Sorry to interrupt. We realized we hadn't thanked you for rescuing Halric. You weren't hurt at all, were you? Hurt? There wasn't even a fight. I was too late, too slow, and I thought I could protect you. You can't blame yourself for things beyond your control. You brought Halric back safe and sound. No one could have done any more. I'm sorry, but I've come to a decision. I won't be continuing my role here. I hope you forgive me for leaving you, and that you will delay Halric's last meal for as long as you possibly can. Not until it's too late, of course. Just give him what time you can. We always do. Of course, she would have done the same. Farewell, Halric. Keep Tesleen's words close to your heart. Wait, you're leaving this very moment? I understand how you must feel, but surely this is a bit hasty. Do you even have anywhere to go? Mysterium. I have a destination in mind, yes, and a purpose. Oh, she's gonna go take the thing down. This damned light, building without cease. That's the reason we can't save those corrupted by the Eaters. What if we corrected the balance? Even only little by little, even if it took years, you'd surely make things better. Now hold on there. Everyone knows there's too much light. How can you ever hope to get rid of it? You'd have to change the whole world. That's right. We should return to the Crystarium. I may not be able to repel the Eaters on my own, but I can still use the skills I gained here to hurt them. Shrugs and head shakes. More blue quests? Odd. I think the other ones are going to be, yeah, they're going to be in the area that I can't get to yet. Okay. No point in really going super far out of my way to get them all, because I can't get them all right now anyway. Yeah, but I can. Yep, that's the one. That's another area I can't get to yet. Just like any good show, a lot of build up. Forgive me, Malcazar. I couldn't stay there a moment longer. But I was serious about what I said. While the men and women of the inn battle against the blight with kindness, I must fight my own way with steel. Miss Alize, is there anything I can get you? You're swiftest tomorrow. I need to return to the Crystarium immediately. As you wish. You were the slowest one. Remember to wear goggles if I ever fly over Elmarang again. I barely got the sand out of my eyes. But the wind did help clear my head at least. I think I'm ready to meet with the Exarch. We need to talk about how we're going to wipe these Sin Eaters out, shall we? When most people go there just to get in here, so you have to turn around every single time. Thank you for seeking me out, Malcazar. It meant a lot to have you there at my side, and looking at Alphino, I'd say he's as eager to begin his discussion as I am. I say we lay our experiences before the Exarch and step back to see what kind of picture they make. Then we can decide where to go from there. Is this all voice acted? That'd be awesome.
And so you return. Have you gained a better understanding of the crisis now faced by the First?
Better is not the word I would use. Some lands may have been spared the flood, but the survivors live only to suffer. There seems no end to the horrors inflicted by the Sin Eaters.
Indeed. Those abominations are a calamity in their own right. And I can well imagine how hopeless the task of eradicating them must seem to you. But after countless battles and untold sacrifice, we have identified a potential weakness. Sin Eaters are drawn to serve the strongest of their kind, a class of creature we call Light Wardens. And from what we have been able to ascertain, only a handful of these entities exist. Just as an ant colony will perish in the absence of its queen, we believe that the death of a Light Warden will cause the lesser creatures within its sphere of influence to disperse.
I have a feeling Yulmor might have something to say about any concerted action we take against these monsters. Vorthra's command over the Sin Eaters is integral to Yulmoran society. In seeming to guarantee his people's safety, it guarantees their obedience. He will not take kindly to us depriving him of such useful allies.
Agreed. Thus we will need to occupy or otherwise divert his forces whilst we proceed with the business of eliminating the Wardens. Until we have done so, all other considerations must be set aside if we are to forestall the 8th Umbral Calamity.
Why did he say it like that? The 8th Umbral Calamity. Are you sure that eliminating the Wardens will be enough?
Your uncertainty is understandable given the circumstances. Perhaps a more detailed explanation is in order. To begin at the beginning, then.
Awkward line. Begin at the beginning.
ancient past, a single star was divided into 14 worlds. This is the source, your home. These others are the 13 shards, in whose number we find the first. Though physically separate, they retain a connection to each other, and with the source especially. Now, let us assume that a given element in one of the shards attains abnormal ascendancy. Just as water will flow from the highest point to the lowest, the excess energy will begin trickling into the source. And such an influx of ether will of course exert a palpable influence. If the element in question were fire, then drought and wildfires might ensue. If it were ice, one might expect the weather to turn bitterly cold. As ether continues to pour in, such phenomena will become more and more extreme, until eventually, a single, untimely event triggers a disaster which cracks the barrier dividing the two worlds. What was once a trickle now becomes a deluge, sweeping the shard along to be rejoined with the source. At the same time, the element which held sway in the shard is unleashed in full, its energies amplifying the original disaster to truly catastrophic proportions. An earthquake thus magnified might strike with enough force to shatter continents. A tidal wave might swell to a size capable of drowning entire nations. These devastating events are what we refer to as umbral calamities. 7 times has a calamity befallen the source. 7 times has a shard been absorbed.
Didn't they also say the one furthest from the source was also absorbed? Apparently not. Oh, there it goes. Yep.
At present, the light-drowned realm of the First stands perilously close to meeting the conditions for a rejoining. It is the Sin-Eaters who are to blame for the Light's continued dominance. In addition to attracting their lesser kin, the Light Wardens I mentioned earlier radiate ether, saturating every corner of their territory with light. Even here in the flood-spared region of Norvrant, their influence is strong enough to banish night from the sky. Thus, if we are to restore balance to the First and head off a potential calamity, it is imperative that we put each and every Light Warden to the sword.
We've been doing our best to take the fight to the enemy ever since we first heard the Exarch's explanation.
Though we have yet to claim any meaningful victories if truth be told. Apart from being confoundingly elusive, the Light Wardens possess a troublesome quality which compelled us to delay our plans until such time as you arrived.
Yeah? Are they a lot like primals?
Forgive the interruption, my lord, but Hallminster Switch is requesting reinforcements. They say the Sin-Eaters are attacking in force, and the village could soon be overrun.
Alert the guard. We should be prepared in case the fighting reaches the Crystarium. You have command of our forces in the field, Captain, but hold off on entering the town until I arrive. That goes for Alphino and Alize as well.
My lord.
Lend us your strength. Such a fight will provide you with far greater insight than any explanation I could offer.
Okay. Old Mr. Switch is in the north of Lakeland, so we'd best make haste with our preparations. In fact, meet me outside the Crystarium and at the crossroads northwest of the Censor Gate, and I shall lead you there myself. Where is this on the map? Oh, just outside the Crystarium. Okay. Aether currents. Music's pretty good. Getting for some epic moments over here. Everything's gonna fight me. There we go. All set. If we follow the sword north, we'll arrive at the northern staging point. The village itself lies not far beyond. Quickly now. Way up there, okay. Not far from here, just all the way across this zone. Probably hit this up on the way. Is that gemstone trader? Actually. Oh, he's all the way up there. Of course he is. And the music decides to come back now. Check out this gemstone trader real quick, see what that does. Cool. All twice. Bicolored gemstones can be traded. okay. Get them for doing fates and stuff. All right. A little bit of platforming for this one, it looks like. Can't see of any other way to get up, though. Maybe that's all I needed was just to get up here. Nope. Oh, the heck. Come on, you can climb a crate. Not that hard. This way, probably. Yeah. Struggle busing for a while there, dang. And that's another one in this town, too. Nice. Just gonna get a whole bunch on the way. Up there. How do I get up there? Climbing rocks. There's a little ramp right there. Gray Draco. Malfoy. Is it going to be up on one of those two little outcroppings there? Excuse me. Right there. How did I die from that? Is it because it happened in combat? I'm not supposed to be able to die from falling. Stupid. Dumb. What a waste of time. Now I know it's right there. Got a bunch of these on the way. I'm not complaining. The only complaint I had is dying from fall damage. And now they're really far away. Okay. Now I can just get there. Holminster Switch is past these gates or through the woods. Not exactly a near neighbor to the Custarium, but as we occupy the same region, we have built something of a cooperative relationship. What can we expect inside, Captain? The town is beset by a swarm unlike any we have seen in recent years. We did our best to evacuate the villagers, but as many as half remain. Judging by the number of eaters present, we have good reason to believe that a light warden leads the attack. How convenient. It seems we'll have our chance to slay a warden sooner than we expected. One does not simply slay a warden. Has no one told you what happens if you defeat one of those fiends? They hold more light inside them than all our underlings put together. It can be struck down, aye, but its essence will dissipate like the weaker one. Vile ether will billow outwards and envelop the nearest living being. A reckless young swordsman, perhaps, and turn her into a brand new warden. Also, you can't just kill them. Well, you can leave that particular quandary to us. I must ask that the guards stand down and allow us to engage this leader of eaters alone. Concentrate on the survivors. We must save every life we can. But what if... Understood, my lord. As captain of the guard, however, I will not watch you brave such danger without an escort from our ranks. I insist that I go with you. You're going to become the Light Warden. Well then. Very well. Then our warden slaying party shall include myself, the Liviers, Captain Lina, and last but not least... Yeah. A formidable group indeed. Into Holminster we go. Once you reach the Light Warden, do not hold back. We strike to kill. Oh, it's a dungeon. Haha. Instance dungeons encountered in the Shadowbringer's main scenario quests can be done with a... What? You must speak with one of the NPC companions for the entrance to instance. Select the option to form a party. You can do it by solo. Forming a party, you will need to follow the same role restrictions imposed when using the Duty Finder. Is that a good or bad thing? Or you can do the duty finder as usual, complete the instance with fellow players instead. All right, let's do it. Who do I take? Well, I think this is fine. So it's called a trust. That's nice, because that way you don't have to wait several minutes for a group to form. I wish that a lot of MMOs had that option. That way, it's like if it's a low population, you don't have to worry about waiting forever. Oh god, it's a sin eater. It can't be. Oh, just turn to that bear. The eaters corrupt everything. Yes, they do. This is also kind of cool because you can see more comments. That also means I don't have to roll on gear. It's all going to be mine. Unless I can gear these people out too. That'd be kind of cool. Get out of the way. What are you guys doing? Yeah, no kidding. I wonder if these fights take longer because it's NPCs as opposed to other players. I still haven't gotten to the first boss yet. Now they get out of the way. Aren't you guys doing a ridiculous amount of AoE? That's exactly what needs to be happening. Let's just hit this button combo. That's a couple hundred more times. Yeah, now I can switch it up. First boss time, finally. Okay, let's just jump in. Don't worry about anybody judging me for failing. Hey, look, it's the one she busted the nice. Forgiven dissonance, eh? Brazen Bull. What can you do over there? Path of Light. Hey, wait, it hits everybody for quite a bit of damage. Visit Pillory, is that your tank buster? That hit me. Yeah, I think it is. I was like, that's the monster from Almarang. Easy now, Alize. We face it together. Thanks, Alphino. Wish they would actually say them, as I don't have to read them over there while I'm in the middle of battle. Yep, full damage is 31,000 on that. Keep trying to use the limit break. Oh, she hit me with that. How ridiculous. Get out of there. You guys could still damage it because you guys have range. I guess by that logic I could too. Finished. Alphino, is everyone alright? I'm fine. Let's keep moving. Alright, Alize. A switch gremlin. Oh, I just got slowed. That's cool. Lena, steal your hearts. There may be others we can save. Alpha, no, we draw the eaters to us. Oh, Alzael said, wait, those villagers. So many things to keep an eye on. It's almost like I need to figure out how to separate a different chat box for that type of conversation. Oh, it was slowed. I'm like, why is it not? Whoa, heal me up, Alpha now. What happens if I die? Does everyone else die? Because I can come back. I don't know if they can. I don't know why I'm not using my this is minute cooldown. Might as well use it. There's a lot of Sin Eaters around. Second boss. Let's do this. Oh, is that? Oh no, it is. God, another Seed Eater. So this is where you went. Oh, so the Tickler is the Tank Buster. Okay. That's the one that hits everybody. I don't know what they need to do. I'll spread out, that way they don't run into more than one person. Probably exactly what it is. Oh, get out of that little AoE. Okay. Drop the pancake. At least these bosses so far are pretty easy. Just don't stand and stuff. That's a good idea. Drop it there so it overlaps. What are you doing over there? Get over here. And it sucks that we have to kill her. There's no way to save her. Alize, you've gone pale. I'm fine. We should keep moving. I can't put that on, can I? Nope. Alright, they took the big guy down first. Usually the exact opposite of what you want to do in a group. But maybe this one, maybe they know something I don't. Lena said, oh, Alice, we were too slow to save them. Oh yeah, the people that just turned. Lena, we freed their souls. That is all we can do. Is it just going to be like back and forth battles? It might have been faster with an actual queued up group because they would do AoEs. But I do like the back and forth with the characters. Like I said, to see what they're saying, it's pretty nice. Yeah, this is one battle after another. I'm not complaining. I'm getting good experience for it finally because I'm actually in this expansion. Any chests in this giant circle? I'm not seeing any. The manor house is just ahead, as is the source of the suffocating ether. Arrive in the manor house courtyard, then question marks. Light Warden Philia. throw one of these on just in case. Guys, have anything to say? The sheer power. I can sense its strength from here. Thanks for grarking at me. Scavenger's Daughter. Is that an AoE or is that a tank buster? That's the AoE, okay. Head Crusher, that's probably the... Yep, that's the tank buster. Here, I'll turn you guys away from... There we go. What does that do? Aether Sup. Get out of there. Oh, I have to break her chain. Okay. Right now, can I get out of there? Yes, I can. Ah, thought I would get out of the way of that. You don't want to be in front of him, and you don't want to be behind him. Not even close. Yeah, that's good. Oh, yeah, you guys stay over there. Mind. Destroy the chain. Nicely dodged that attack. That was awesome. And zap. And this should be done very shortly here. Bum, bum, bum. Do they not have class quests? I haven't had gotten a thing to go to class quest yet. And now what? Who's gonna become the new Light Warden? Or how are we gonna stop it from happening? I got an orchestrion roll. Sweet.
It's releasing its ether. Fall back. We cannot let it touch us. Quickly, my lord, we must withdraw.
That will not be necessary, Captain. Though I appreciate your concern. The eternal light of these creatures has confounded us for nigh on 100 years. For each we have put down, another has risen up in its place, born of the self-same ether, relinquished by its predecessor. But now we have a way to contain that corruption.
Me. That's why you needed me. You could have fought and killed these things. Yeah.
And the hero who wields it now stands before you.
So is it random who gets it or whoever's closest? Can I go forever? Please? Aw.
Behold, the monster's power is broken, and the world, twisted by its touch, returns to its rightful form.
Sweet. You can see the stars. It's dark over here, but the next province over, it's gonna be light again. Provinces aren't so far away that you won't be able to see light from them. What if there are people out in the middle of nowhere, like, oh, it's never gonna get dark. Now they have no way of evading light.
It's so beautiful.
Yes, child.
Sunless sea. The warrior of darkness has come.
Your hair goes through your hood. It's good luck. I shouldn't give NPCs with long hair hoods because that looks ridiculous.
Is that what I think it is?
The night sky, as it should be.
are you people? You killed a warden, then bathed in its ether as if it were a spring shower, and now the sky? The legends are true. My lord?
How many years have I waited for this moment? For the one possessed of her blessing. For you. You have vanquished the Light Warden of Lakeland, and for the first time in a century, darkness has returned to the mantle of night. Without the ever-present light to sustain them, the Sin Eaters will have no choice but to retreat. Yet our victory is far from complete. Though darkness has fallen here, the other wardens yet bask beneath burning skies, feasting upon what little life remains. Even should it cost me all I have, I would see each and every one of them slain, that this world might be spared from oblivion. Not only for the first, but for the source as well. Save one, and we save the other. Be that as it may, I concede it was wrong of me to summon you to this fight against your will. I swear, on my life, I will one day atone for that deed, but for the present, I beg you, stay and see this fight to its conclusion. Cast down the wardens and restore darkness to the first.
I'll become the warrior you need, but I'm a paladin, so I would switch classes first.
On behalf of the first, I offer you my deepest thanks.
I understand there is much at stake here, Exar, but why do you risk yourself so readily? It must have been a dangerous drain on your ether to summon even one person across the rift.
I do it for my people, of course. To give the Crystarium the tomorrow it deserves.
That is true now, yes, but the city had yet to be built when you first called forth the Crystal Tower. I'm simply curious to know what prompted you to commit yourself so completely to this particular course.
I'm an Ascian, and I left the Ascians. I don't know.
There are things which we can ill afford to lose.
I'm just speculating. That'd be interesting, though.
I sensed from the first that I had a part to play in preserving them. Forgive me. I fear the events of the day may have taken their toll. Despite appearances, I am an old man. One burdened with many difficult memories, some too painful to recall.
Well then, I'm sorry for pressing you. It's a family failure, I'm afraid.
One which has served us well more often than not. Needless to say, we will continue to fight at your side until the last Sin Eater is defeated.
We're disagreeing.
My warriors of darkness, let us gather the surviving villages and make our way back to the Crystarium.
Now I understand why the title screen looks like that. Splitting the nights, the light. Light can come back. How quickly you've justified my faith in you. So many lives saved, and the sky itself heralds your success. A single victory in a larger struggle, perhaps, but a momentous one nonetheless. Trust part is unlocked. Wait, what? I got it. What? How do I do that? You can list NPC companions to revisit completed instance by opening the trust interface located under the duty in the main menu. I'm in. Or does it only work on new dungeons? Alright, so where's this trust interface? I want to find this out right now. Let's figure this out. This is the duty menu, right? I know it has loot rules. I'll read that again. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong spot. You can enlist NPC companions to revisit completed instances by opening the trust interface located under duty in the main menu. That's the system menu. Duty, trust. Can I? Okay, so it's only for new stuff. Dang, that would have been cool. Just you unlocked it all the way out here, and then you can like. Trust allow you to enter Shadowbringer's dungeons. When using trust, coffers found in the duties will contain fewer items. In addition, some menus will no longer drop rewards. So there is a benefit to doing it in a regular deal. I'm going to check something out real quick. And some people are like, I don't see how they can do it because people will blah, blah, blah. They don't want to play. I'm like, well, maybe if it's only for like dungeons you've already done, that would be fine with me. It's an easier way to level up alternate jobs. Now, as far as how we proceed from here. The villagers we evacuated earlier have arrived safely in the Crystarium. They seem to be accepting the situation for the moment, and most folk are far too distracted by the sky to worry about wounds or lost homes. They can move back in now that they're gone. They whisper and wonder if the Warrior of Darkness has come. This be expected. Balgazar, I must ask a favor of you. Would you be so kind as to conceal your involvement in this endeavor for the time being? Why? Seeing the light recede from Lakeland is a momentous occasion, and many will be swept in a maelstrom of excitement and confusion. Should you come forth as a legendary warrior of darkness, I fear that, no matter how many good your intentions, such an appearance will throw the city into disarray. Whatever. That's just an excuse. You're just trying to hide it. I find myself in agreement with the Exarch, although my concerns are more focused on Yulmore. It may be best if you maintain a low profile until we see how Vothi responds to all this. My thanks. Though we cannot freely celebrate your success, pray allow your heart to be buoyed by the joy of our citizens, a joy you surely brought into being. Ah, and I must ask the same discretion of you, Captain. 'Tis my intention to share with our people the tale of a great warrior who stood in defiance of the Sin Eaters. This unnamed champion defeated Light Warden and has since departed for parts unknown, yes? As you wish, my lord. Your penchant for mystery is nothing new, and I will encourage folk not to question this either. Although I expected to be told the whole truth of it one day. About all of you. With that settled, I shall return to the Crystarium and make an address to the people. These explanations and adjustments will consume much of my time, so pray take the opportunity to rest and recover from your exploits. And to think, you'll not even need to shutter the windows to enjoy a dark and peaceful night's sleep. What about the guys? Because their only job was to make blackout shades. Now nobody needs them anymore. They're out of business. I must stay behind and coordinate the evacuation of the remaining survivors. And I hesitate to ask after all you've done here today, but could I ask you to pass on a message on your way to the Pendants? Please let Broggy know that we're bringing a number of injured and that any restoratives in the markets need to be reserved for the infirmary. You can count on me. We should start making our own way back to the Crystarium. Slowly, mind you. It wouldn't do to arrive too soon after the Exarch. I'm staying behind as well. There's something I need to check on at Holminster. We are already went through the village top to bottom, Alize. We should all take the chance to rest, you included. I knew one of those eaters, and I can't rest, not now. So please, I wish to be left alone for a while, and that means you as a Magazer. I shall be cross if you try to follow me. I promise to find you later when I feel myself again. Just you and me then, shall we? I'm gonna teleport back and then end the stream for now. Sorry I started late and we had some connection issues, but they seem to have been resolved. I got to get pretty far through it, so until next time, everyone peace out.